Timekeeper, what is it?
Just now.
Okay, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good to see everybody. Especially Mr. Lael, that wasn't on forever today. And looks like we do have a quorum, hardly do, but we do have a quorum. And we're thankful for that, but we don't have very much to go over, but some sad things to talk about and some other things. This time I'd like to call on Magistrate Short to give an invocation.
All right, everybody will bow their head. Lord, we thank you for this day, for watching over this court for the last 4 years. Praying for Rita's family and Jamie's family that's had a loss in their family. May God be with them in the next hours, God, and we pray, Lord, that you'll touch them and bless them. Thank you for your joy. Thank you for your son, Jesus. Bless this court and the one to come. You know, they wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger because there was no room in the inn. Jesus come to save. He come to give us life. You know, the reason for this season is the birth of Jesus Christ. That's the reason for it. And we celebrate that today. Amen.
Amen. At this time I'd like to call on Lieutenant Kaywood to lead us in the pledge. He's on. Sorry, John, I didn't give you any more notice.
I would ask Sergeant Sammons to join in with this meeting, since this is our last meeting. Please join with me, would you? May we all come together for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, John. I don't think y'all know it or not, but this next court coming on, first of the year, will be the first time in a long time we haven't had a veteran on the court. John and myself and the judge.
It's true.
John and I were real soldiers and judge was the judge, Air Force. I didn't recognize him when I was in. Did we, Kaywood?
Yeah. He was flying above us.
I need a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting.
So moved.
Motion been made. Need a second.
Second.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed likewise. Minutes approved. Okay, Ms. King, sure, Shirley.
Yes.
Approve the bills.
All right, so we have some bills that need to be paid. The total comes to $354,478.18.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Need a motion to approve.
Make a motion.
Motion been made. Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye likewise. Thank you. Next we call on our treasurer, Darlene.
Okay. Yeah, I have budget transfers that total $197,900 from the general joint jail and EMS fund.
Approve the transfers.
Need a second?
Second.
Second. All.
Okay.
Motion passed.
Take a vote.
Aye.
Okay.
Thank y'all.
We now have cash transfers. General fund to the joint jail, EMS, and fleet management for $351,000.
Okay. Need a motion to approve?
So moved.
Anybody want to second it?
I'll second it.
God, we're asleep this morning. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
One vote. Likewise. Motion carried. calendar. I guess we'll have a consent calendar. That's gonna be the new court, I think, the first of the year. I don't know what day it is, I don't know the date. Do you really care?
I
I
care.
believe it's the 10th of
It'll be
January.
January 10th.
We really don't care, do we? Okay, I'd like to call on Mr. Campbell. Where is he?
Right over here.
Push that hair back out of your face a moment.
Short and sweet.
Short timer.
Only have one item. We advertised and accepted bids for our stone for 2023 and for our asphalt for 2023. We received one bid for the stone, from Coel Stone. So I would entertain, I guess we'll do it separately. I'll entertain a motion, I guess, to accept the Coel Stone bid for stone.
Make a
Do
motion.
that one first, if you like, sir.
Motion been made to accept the bid with Quail Stone.
Second.
Second.
Okay?
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed likewise,
One,
motion carried.
one question if I may.
Yes, sir.
Is this more than we paid last year?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit, so it's
Yeah.
pretty close.
But it's not a tremendous increase, maybe if $1 a ton, but I don't think it is. I think it's
Okay.
maybe about 50 cents. So the stone price is pretty good. Asphalt price, on the other hand,
Didn't matter.
all right, on the asphalt bids, we only received one bid, and that was from the Allen Company. And it is $20 on a ton increase from last year.
Ooh.
It's a pretty good little lick.
Yes.
Okay, Duane.
What do you do?
You got one bid, what do you
Have it,
do?
so.
You blacktop less miles of road.
There you
That's what
go.
you do.
I'll make a motion to accept it.
Second.
Second. Motion been made and second to accept the asphalt bid. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All
Very
opposed
good.
likewise.
Thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you and Happy
Merry
New Year.
Christmas to you.
All right.
Dwayne, so the public really understands what we face this weekend, tell us a little bit about our treated salt and what it can and cannot do down to -3.
Well,
Reported
of
this
course, we
morning.
weren't expecting this kind of temperature this early in the year. We just have the standard salt in the barn right now, so we don't normally order treated salt till January. So right now, we have treated salt, but we have standard salt. Problem with this weekend, the way the weather's coming in and as cold as it's gonna get, I'm not sure the treated salt would have even been effective. So
I
we're hopeful that we can get some salt down early and get things, at least broken up or cleared before the temperature drops, the bottom drops out of the temperature.
The toughest
Because a
thing is,
a 40-degree temperature drop in a couple of hours is tough to deal with.
yeah, the hardest thing is they were reporting this morning that the rain would come after 11, and then immediately that precipitous drop is going
Right.
to take place. So we will likely have ice underneath snow, which is about as treacherous as it gets.
Yes, and treacherous for us too. So it's, that'd be something we'll be watching, because if it gets really bad, we'll probably have to pull off for a little while and then try to go back in daylight when we see what we're doing and try to treat it. But by that point in time, the salt will not be effective other than maybe create a little grit, maybe create a little traction that way.
Everybody in Kentucky had better be prepared today, because we're less than 2 days away from
Yeah.
very critical
Yeah.
weather
And
crisis.
just like what you just said, with it raining, we can't do much until the rain finally begins to change over to snow. And at that point, temperatures are gonna drop pretty quickly, so. And what happens is the salt freezes in the trucks, and then
Because they're exposed.
you're just stuck. Because the salt attracts moisture to itself, even if it weren't raining.
Yep.
And even though they're tarped, it attracts that moisture out of the air, and it'll become rock solid.
And as you said, it's going to be treacherous for your drivers.
Yes, yes, it will be, could be a rough night.
Just had to do it on your last day.
I know it, darn it.
You didn't make it out of there.
I was trying to slide out the door.
For those who don't know, Duane's spending his work with us at the end of the month, so we wish him the best, but we didn't wish this for you.
Well, thank you. I think it's in the forecast for next week too, so.
You may not realize
We're not gonna go out quietly.
it. Duane, you may not realize it, but the court has the power to extend your.
Nope.
It's called
Give
a
you
ball
another
and
month.
chain.
That volunteer, yeah.
Steve? This is Steve Griffin, our HR person.
I'd like to introduce Jessica Joseph, is our new animal patrol officer. Should be starting on January 3rd. Just to welcome her. And
What's the name again?
Jessica Joseph.
Jessica. Well,
Do you live down in that area?
I live in Junction.
Okay.
It's
Ain't
gonna
nothing
be
wrong
worse.
with
We don't get a lot down our road.
that. Good to have you.
Glad to have you.
yeah, thank you. Is
Thank you.
that all you got?
That's all I got. Yes, sir.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you all. We'll talk to y'all later.
Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay,
The blue area, I've got a lot of dogs, so please.
Okay.
Give me your information.
I
what
got you.
about the sheriff's new budget?
Yeah, they were supposed to do it, but let me go see what maybe they forgot.
I'll get it.
Oh,
Surely not.
George, you're not leaving, are you?
Yep, have a good rest of the meeting.
It's been boring, so. What? You know, talk about somebody that wanna go thorn amongst the roses, is what I feel like.
Y'all waiting on me?
Waiting on you, buddy.
I haven't heard back from them.
Y'all rolling up this morning.
And I said, pull up the live feed there, and Steve was sitting there. I was like, yeah, I think I'm next. Good morning. Sheriff-elect Taylor Bottom here. Pleasure to be in front of you guys. Just wanted to get a jump on next year's budget and wanted to present that to you all. I guess I'm new at this. Hopefully I said everything right, so.
Good.
Did
They'll
you all
probably
have,
let you know.
do what?
So they'll let you know.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You're working with a mighty fine lady, she'll keep you under control.
Right, absolutely.
You know that. yeah.
This one,
Yeah.
and she's taking her time off to be here to help me today, so.
Oh, ain't she really? Bless her heart. She's
Do you all have a copy of the budget?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. We just need like a motion to acknowledge or accept.
Okay, well, I need a motion to approve his budget, I guess.
So moved.
First reading.
Second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
All opposed likewise. Thank
So,
you.
we just need, I guess.
Need a couple of signatures,
Yeah,
I
on the
believe.
budget, we're gonna approve the salary cap as well.
Okay, we need a motion to do that too?
Yeah. Because you
Okay.
have to have an unanimously decisions on the salary cap, and has to be signed by the magistrates who will,
Oh, we all signed?
yeah, on
Well-
whoever's gonna, it's annonously, you know how that works, Phil. He knows
We need to make a motion on the salary cap.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion been made and second on the salary cap.
You got to sign it, since you
Say aye.
motion and say
Aye.
aye.
All opposed likewise, motion carried.
Magistrate Sammons, I'd like to make a comment to the Sheriff's Department out in public. This weekend, we had a phone call from a citizen about illegal dumping. And they called the sheriff's office, and Deputy Tanner Warlick responded quickly, caught them dumping, made them pick it up, take it home, and I believe both were cited to court. And I think he'd like to done more, but they had their children with them.
Oh, no.
But as solid waste director, I really, really appreciate that. And I think catching them like that is a good to say, hey, we're not going to tolerate it.
As a newly elected public official in my job, I really appreciate you all saying that. It's the first I've heard of it. I've been off with my baby, so
I got to
I
talk
really
to
appreciate
Janice yesterday, and
You came in the office not too long after we spoke, and I recognized him in front of our chief deputy that what he did, and he was like tickled that, he was like,
well,
oh,
you hear
good.
so many bad things between
Yeah,
my
so,
position,
yeah,
your
I let
position.
him know that he
So
was
it's nice
appreciated.
to know that we can work together and you responded and something was actually done. And it was in your district, Magistrate Ellis.
I'm not surprised. Angie, I am so glad you brought this up, and I hope the advocate is on top of this, because Angie and I talked about this. It must be pre-COVID.
And it was
That-
my pet peeve. It was the tires in the creek that really had a whole other stuff, but the tires right in the middle of the creek really.
We had a
Just
CAECO
done.
conference over 2 years ago and learned that statewide, we pay over $10 million a year for litter cleanup, and that does not count our jail crew that goes out and does a great job.
Well, the worst thing was the other day I went home and they cleaned up 27 to Junction City.
I
And
drove
there
out,
was a bag on both sides, at least 20 feet apart. And I watched them out here, it's not been a week, and they were out there this morning doing the same thing again.
I drove home from Kroger the other day, and there were over 25 bags between the junction right there, 125, 150 and 127, out to my home. And yesterday we drove to Lexington, and literally on both sides of the road, there was a bag every 200 feet or closer. And folks, that $10 million is just gonna evaporate, and it's gonna be more now that we've been 2 years into the $10 million the taxpayers are paying for one of the most regrettable absence of basic humanity to keep our roads clean from litter. Angie knows that in Perryville every year we go out there and have a community pickup and walk all the roads, and it's just stunning how much overload we take out to the convenience center in Portland area.
But thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you all and what you do.
Magistrates, Short, Kaywood, and Salmons, I really appreciate you all, what you've done for our county over the years that you've served our court, so thank you. And Judge Hunt too as well. I know he's not here, but.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Baby doing okay?
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sir.
I want to thank you for
You got agenda, Duane?
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Good morning, Mayor.
I will. Good morning.
Everybody have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Same to you. Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Okay, yes.
Okay, Kenny. Where's Tim?
Except there he is.
Hello. I'm, just letting you know, we hired a part-time, paramedic from Georgetown. His name's Austin Bradley, and, he's from the Harrisburg area, I believe, but he's gonna be a good addition to the service as a part-time paramedic.
Hopefully he's not gonna be commuting.
Yeah, I hope. And the second thing I had was moving, well, our opioid outreach program coordinator, Terry Dunn, extending his position on out for 6 months. Yeah, we've been tracking the opioid money, and we believe it'll be here to cover his expenses. But over the past month and a half, we've had so many deaths, you know, with fellow co-workers and Miss Rita, and he was there to help, you know, and he's turned more into a counselor for the entire county than he has just an opioid outreach. And you can look and see what surrounding counties are doing with all the mental health issues, and there's more mental health issues than there are opioid, and Terry's been responding to all those with us, and it's made the biggest difference in the world. It has. And I mean, we'd be one of the first counties to have, you know, a social worker for our use, you know, to help with crisis management, to help with sheriff's office, us, and I was just bringing that up.
Okay, and if I can interject here, we received notice of our opioid money that we're supposed to receive. It's over approximately 5 years. As of December 15th, we were supposed to be, and I have this back here to go through. We were supposed to receive, according to the letter, which I have, there it is, a combination from two different, a distributor payment and a Janssen payment for year one. Those total $39,129.73.
This is communicated from the Attorney General's office?
This is my letter from, from our attorney, from Brown Greer. So that was supposed to be released to us as of December 15th. I don't have online access to be able to confirm it. So I was gonna go down today and confirm that it did hit the bank account, because I did open the new bank account for that. So basically what we have for the EMS social worker is we were given 6 months from UK to cover $35,000. EMS is looking for an additional 6 months to cover. If we can use the opioid money to help cover this fund, it would be enough to cover.
Would I be correct that as a contract position, there are no benefits?
And that I cannot
I
answer.
say no.
I don't know. Steve.
And,
No, Steve.
yeah, Steve Lett. That I don't.
And
Without confirming.
I've never known of any contract positions that did carry the benefits.
But it's not a 1099 position, I don't believe. It's not a 1099. We don't pay them through accounts payable. We do pay them through our, so yeah, I guess it's gonna have to have benefits because it's gonna be a full-time position.
Yeah, we need
Question.
Sir.
contract opioid employee benefits or none? Contract.
No, we're just,
But,
you're just grant money.
but I was gonna say, UK has been reimbursing us for the social worker position.
Right.
If we take on this position and use our opioid money to help cover the position.
You mean hiring just outside of the contract?
Because they only were guaranteeing that until December.
Okay, so we're just wanting to hire him. We'd have,
I-
if we're hiring, we have to pay benefits.
I heard an extension of the 6-month contract, which is different.
Yeah, at least till June 30th, till we can find other grants and things to help.
But if we don't have a grant money coming, wouldn't it still be like just a temporary hire?
I would say so.
I would say it's a temporary hire.
But
Yeah.
I think it's something maybe the new court was gonna have to deal with.
Exactly. Yeah,
The
that's
first
what I'm
year
thinking, too.
about, since this has just come out, we don't know anything about it, so. But, it probably need to be brought back up next meeting, so.
Obviously, he's been content with the contract without benefits from us.
Yeah, I mean,
So since we don't have a new budget year until mid-year next year, I'd say it'd be kind of awkward because we don't have a line item for it, for the benefits for it.
Well, you bring it up next court meeting, you're the only one here that'll be there next month.
Right.
Okay, thank you, Steve.
I'd like to add,
Yeah.
we gotta do everything we can to keep him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's critical. He reports to us, but he reports to the ASAP board.
That's one of the sensitivities that I have.
And the stories he can tell, he's right in those homes, he's right working with those people. And we gotta have somebody, folks, we're just entering this phase of society. I can tell you, the next court, I don't care whether it's city, county, or what, the next group of our citizens are gonna be dealing with some tough issues going forward. And you go back to Jack's letter that he shared with us, and Jack's right. Somebody's gotta step up and face it, folks, and it's us. It's you all, excuse me, it's you all. Good luck.
And it may be the thing where we have to take him to contract instead of paying him out the way we do now. So it would turn it into an accounts payable thing if we don't do
Yeah, I mean, he's turned way more into, the social worker crisis management thing because, like I said, there's, anytime we have any mental illness or, domestics or anything like that, he rides and sees if he can help. He's helped place people in nursing homes. He's, placed people in treatment, and he's been at the hospital when we've had tragedies. And I think he's invaluable.
Okay.
Tim, are you aware of Jack Hendrick's memo that came out 3 or 4 days ago about the 140 homeless that we have in the community and the crisis we face this weekend? I think that's what John.
No. I've been under the weather for the past 4 days.
I'm sorry, but we're going to have a terrible situation, and you guys are going to see it. You'll be probably the first one seeing it with the temperatures.
Well, we've talked to Tim, like you said, been out of the weather. You probably don't know what we're talking about. It's the homeless people, Tim, and the city and the county. You guys need to get together early next year, and we need I hope the city will donate the piece of property they've talked about, and I'm sure they will. Mike, isn't that right?
Correct.
And I'd like to recognize the mayor being with us today. You all probably know Mike. He's not only the mayor, but he's already my friend. And he's now, Jack, what got this started, it's been going on for some time. Jack is volunteering and patrolling some in the police car, and he ran into a situation with several homeless people. And he sent us all a text on that, and something like 142 is they've counted for. Is that right, Mike? So please, if I had been reelected, that's going to be my goal, to make sure we did something homeless, because a lot of them, I'm sure, are veterans, and John and I, that's close to our heart, and John.
10 years ago, it was reported that there were 50,000 veterans, and I know that number has grown nationwide on the street.
And the suicide rate among veterans is much higher. So please take that and run with it. And Mike's going out of office too, but you've got the mayor, I'm sure, will work with you. And but it's scary when this weather, Tom, you're talking about the ice and no rain. How would you like to be sleeping in a cardboard box in that 0 weather? So.
2 good reports on this. I've communicated this morning with Councilwoman Jenny Holland, and Mayor, you might speak to this because you'll have more details on it, but you all are already looking at warming centers and churches, and likewise Brian Coel for the county has initiated some work along those lines. But 140 this weekend, but we've got a brutal winter predicted as well, so it's not going to be over with, it's just begun.
No, it's a sad situation. So I hope the churches step up this weekend and make the place available temporarily while everything else is getting in line. So thank you, Tim.
Would it be possible to vote to extend his time until the next fiscal court meeting?
Because he ends the 31st.
Who are you talking about?
Terry Dunn, the social
With the
worker.
social worker?
Oh, I don't know.
Because his contract's up the end of this month, so if we extend it to the next fiscal court meeting, that gives them a chance to.
So moved.
Second.
Well, we made a second to extend this guy's time to the next court meeting, which will be on the second Tuesday of January.
I believe it's January 10th.
So, you know,
Now, do we need to do anything about a line item and where
I've
that
got a
line
motion
comes
and a
from?
second on the floor. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed likewise. Motion carried. Okay, thank you. Y'all, I'm sure.
Thank you, Darlene.
I'm sure you will get a hold of this and work it hard. I'm not gonna make any appointments on the Ethics Commission or what have you. Next meeting, I don't think it'd be right to do judge that way, and so she can make the appointments at the next meeting. So, if everybody agrees, is that okay? And, I just appreciate everybody being here. I know Danny, and I know this young lady here, and I know this gentleman with the beautiful head. I already brushed several times this morning. And Duane, that's your last meeting too, I believe. So, Duane, the court wishes you good enjoyment, retirement, and a healthy one.
Thank you.
So,
Hope you got a hobby.
no,
His wife's got
He
one.
got a wife. He got a wife. What else you gotta say?
does anybody have anything else? Anybody got anything from the floor? You wanna go to the podium?
Well, thank you all for your public service. I hope that many of you all, like me, just because we're not going to be sitting in the seats next year doesn't mean you don't have a voice. It doesn't mean you don't have some influence. And you've spent too much time sitting in these seats to not care going forward. So stay in the game. Right, Phil?
That's right. Just make sure we get paid.
Sorry about his luck.
The remaining member of the court want to encourage you and your counterparts at the city government to continue to work. One of the 4 things that I ran on was cooperation with the county. I hope I've made some moves in that direction.
And just hoping that Tom and you guys will work with the city, and got a good mayor coming on. He'll do everything he can to cooperate with everybody. And while I've got the podium, I've enjoyed my 24 years with the county and county government, and during that period of time I've been president of the Magistrate Association 10 years ago, and just ending tomorrow I'll end my time with KCO, the last meeting. I've enjoyed that, enjoyed you guys supporting me all the way. And so John and I will remain close friends as we have for several years, and if you do something wrong with me, tell me. Right up. You got something you'd like to say, John?
Are we at the end?
We're
Not
getting
yet.
close. I'm
Got solar
not
panels.
we're not through yet, but we're getting
Darlene,
close.
you have a report?
I'll have a report too.
Let's
Why
go
don't you
ahead
do it
and get
before the round robin?
We're not gonna have any round robin.
Well, you started.
Why
That's Kaywood.
You don't want to hear
Why
from
don't
me?
we finish up?
And Ron?
Why don't we finish up the business side and then we'll get to the
Okay,
other side?
One more business side, if you don't mind, is what I remembered. Talking about homeless,
yes.
for the record, the city has a meter shop down off of Fry's Lane. The intention is to move the meter people over to the main Fiscal building, if you will. That meter reader shop will be vacant, and the intention is to donate that building to Hope Network or one of the nonprofit agencies for the purpose of housing our homeless. And yes, it's going to get real cold. So that's the intention. For those of you that are going to remain on, keep that front and center.
Any idea how many that could accommodate?
I don't have a clue. It'd be a guess. I'm going to guess.
Our churches
50.
need to step up.
Absolutely, there's no doubt about it.
Thank you.
Okay, Darlene, you got everything.
All right, okay, I do have a few things. Number one, I wanted to let everybody know, excuse me, the ARPA money did come in, so it is in as of December 12th. We had a little trouble with one of our numbers activating, so we had trouble getting it in, but we did get our second tranche in. Also, I mentioned already the opioid money, so that's, I'm gonna double check to make sure that was supposed to be released as of the 15th. So, and it looks like for the first year, if I'm correct in what I read, it would be $39,129.73. Also, just wanted to let everybody know, I do have bonds for our new county judge, the jailer, our new county clerk, we do have a county surveyor this year, and for the constable for District 4, I do have a bond for him. Any others that might need to come in need to come see me.
That's not required of magistrates, am I correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
I had just as an FYI, for Farmers National Bank, I signed for a slight pledge release. They had, basically, they were currently pledging 117% of our immediate securities. They reduced that down to just 106%. They still are covering over 106%, but if we add additional, they will raise that back up. This was just to release a little bit of money for them to cover some other areas. 2 weeks ago, we talked about a new lift for Tommy. I don't know if we want to wait until the next meeting for that. I did get a chance to talk to him about that, and he does want to try and go forward with that as soon as possible. It is what he's looking for, as far as it is one that you pull on, and then the inside of the lift will move, so he can raise it, and then he can still work on the tires and the brakes. So it doesn't stay steady with the tires and brakes. So he's still able to maneuver that. It's got an inside area that moves up and down.
And as I recall, we have that as a budget item, so we're okay on that, correct?
I was gonna say, yeah, we'll be okay on that.
I see dissent by Duane.
There's no budget item for it.
It's not a budgeted item, but I do have, I've got, I think, money put away for it.
Okay, good. Action now or wait?
I was gonna say, it's up to you if you want to wait until the next court, or if you want to go ahead and approve that.
No, I'm not gonna approve anything.
Okay.
Make sure, Mariah, we have
Okay,
our next
Mariah.
agenda.
And then I have also, so to just make sure we get to that next meeting, that next court meeting, I wanted to move $5,000 to the line item 78-5140-13500, and that's to cover that social worker. That's more than necessary. I just want to make sure everything's covered.
So we need a motion to approve.
So I will need a motion to approve that.
Second.
Second.
Motion been made, a second to approve the 5,000, so
Okay.
money will be there, okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, likewise, motion carried.
And I just have a last 65-35 split sheet, if anybody wants to see that for the last one. And this does project out for the last payroll that's hitting this week. So everything, for the most part, is gonna be on that if you want to take one and pass it around.
Make them really interested
Look at it anyway.
Look at it, didn't you, Steve?
I got that.
But that's it.
Thank you. All right, is there anything, Mariah, you'd like to add?
At this moment, I don't think so. Do you need to go around, or you're not doing that, or?
Yeah, I'm going around as far as.
Oh, we started with me, okay, I'm sure it'll be mentioned, just remember Rita Harmon and, the tragedy and loss that she's had here lately. I can't imagine going through all that, and that funeral is at 11 today for anyone that would like to attend.
Mariah, before you pass things on,
Where's the
we
funeral
feel the
going?
same. We feel the same for your grandmother. Sorry for your loss.
It's Junction City
It's
Baptist
the
Church.
Baptist church over there?
Yes.
Okay. where it has. Okay, John?
We gonna do anything on the solar panels?
No.
Okay. That agreement was to run to the end of the year, is that correct?
Yes, the moratorium will
Don't
run
need
out.
to do anything
Run
on it.
out.
It will run
I
out.
realize that, but
So
we
you're just gonna let it roll over?
just want to roll up. Let them deal with it next month. You got anything else?
You want?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got, we received a letter from the, it has to do with the extension office. And it was said we wouldn't deal with it, but I think it's serious enough that I wanted to say something about it, that I hope the next court will immediately take it up. I think it
Well,
deserves.
what I hope you didn't
I think we-
misunderstand me. I think we need to discuss it, but I don't think we need to take any vote.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
But I hope they will take it up immediately and give it serious consideration. It's a serious subject. I have the feeling it's been smoking for a while, and it's time to take care of it, clear the air, and get everybody back functioning together. Some way to figure it out. So it was addressed to all of us, so it came, all of us, even those who were closing out their term. We're still on board, December 31st, not here yet. We still gotta be out there. So, Tom, y'all will get to deal with it.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to add to that, and I want to apologize to the people that sent the letter, the names on there, Danny Ladd. I keep coming back to you because I know you. I apologize for the court not knowing anything about this problem. We should have, but we didn't. And, or I didn't get to know anything about it. I don't think you did either, John. Did you know anything about it?
I knew that there was an issue. There have been previous conversations, as Danny knows, that have not borne any fruit. But there's a commitment now from folks in the room to get both sides together and as quickly as possible in the new year. Ag is incredibly important to our bottom line in this county. Everything starts with agriculture. We each eat hopefully a couple or three times a
You're
day.
right. I just wish we'd have known about it earlier, Danny, so the old court could have worked on this, but it's past, I'm no use worrying about it now, but,
Community improvements, ongoing process, never ends.
thank you. John and I discussed this when we got the letters and wondered why we hadn't known earlier, so. But anyhow, you guys take care of that first, starting the 10th, and that's the first court meeting, Danny, and if you all want to come back at that time. I've known some people out there. Jerry Little comes to mind. I thought everything's going pretty good with Jerry's over there.
Saw him last week, he's really enjoying retirement.
So,
I understand that.
if you don't want to deal with something, you hide your head, right? So I think that's all what's happened. It's sad, but like Tom or John one said that agriculture, it just looks to me like we got a problem. And I think working together, that this can be solved, really, yeah. So Danny, you know Shirley pretty well. You know she'll work with anybody, and she'll work in the new court. And what I'm hearing, the new court's bending over backwards with Shirley right now. That means you're all talking, and that's great. So, Ronnie, do you have anything?
Was you through, John?
Well, I'm not much on goodbyes. This isn't a goodbye. Somebody looks at it like that, I respectfully say it's mistaken. It's been an honor to serve 21 years. And I don't think about, and when I gave it a little thought about what 21 years looks like, I've served with 4 judges and it's been an honor. Good people, great people who have their heart in this community, in this city, in this county, and all of its citizens. To be all that you can be, you have to be like that. You gotta pull for everybody, and everybody's gotta pull together. Nobody can do it by themselves. You have a plan, you work your plan. You hold your head up, you move forward. When the lick comes down at you, you get back up and go again. Been an honor to serve.
The old Army saying, you're what it is, John. Pull yourself up your bootstraps.
Exactly. So, that's all I'm gonna say. It's not goodbye. It's thank you for the honor. And when if you put a list up on the wall, you just go on and you do it because you do it. Do it with the right reasons. That's all I'm gonna say. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, John. Thank you for being my friend, and thank you for your service to this county, 21 years. Ronnie?
I was thinking back 4 years ago when we started this. It's been a privilege to work for this county and to meet all the great people that works in this county. And I appreciate your support. Love each one of you. Pray for you every day. And looking forward to see what this next court does. I think the last 4 years we've accomplished quite a bit considering we've had COVID for 2 years. But we still have done, I think we've done a lot of good things in the last 4 years. And I'm gonna miss you guys, really I am. But I'll be back to see you, see how you're doing. And like I say, I love each one of you. It's been a privilege.
Ronnie, you're truthful with that, loving us all.
Yep, I am. According to the word, family, we gotta love one another.
That's right.
If you don't love one another, if you can't love your brother, how you gonna love Jesus?
That's right. Tom?
Thank you, sir. I'll start with Ronnie and move around here. Ronnie, it's been great to get to know you, you and Pat both. We kind of join in a good section of our districts, and we'll miss your input and your dedication. John, very few people know that, and I may follow through on this, John deserves a plaque right there in the lobby of the library for the many times that he's mentored me when I've come to meet with him after EDP and other meetings, and we'd sit there sometimes for well over an hour and have good discussions. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for your long-term service. Phil, you've also mentored me. You made sure that I met the KCO folks and even the folks with KMCA. So I see you as joint mentors in my small tenure of 4 years opposed to your couple decades plus for each of you. And I'm in your debt for that. So God bless you all, and you all three, and the judge as well, will all be missed. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Well, I want to say thank you to everybody that's been on the court. John and I've seen several magistrates come and go. I was thinking the other day on one particular court, and I was on that particular 4 years. There were 7 of us actually. I mean 6 of us. And looking back, I'm the only survivor. You know, it's scary in a way, isn't it? Some of those old guys like the No Brothers, and a lot of them are, Duane remembers that real well. You do too, Mike. So I've enjoyed my 24 years. It's been a pleasure. I'm sorry that we didn't get a lot of things done that we'd like to have done, but I think, I'm like Ronnie, I think accomplished a lot in that period of time. Duane will tell you, when I first come on the court, we had an S10 pickup, but you could see, you'd be sitting inside and there'd be a hole in the floorboard that big. Remember that, Duane, that old S10? So we've got new vehicles and everything's looking up. So, thank you all. And we're going to adjourn. I'd like for us to adjourn in Mary Burke honor with the Burke's Bakery. She's just a long-time friend to many people, and she lives the kind of life she wanted to live. I think she drove the vehicle up to, what, John, she was 92 or something like that. Yeah, so it's amazing. And also my little buddy here next to me, her grandmother passed away, but like she's telling me to go, she's 99 years old, so she had it for a long life. But the tragedy is the fact that Rita Harmon worked with several others, and I've known Rita all, matter of fact, about all of her life. Her dad and mother have been friends of mine forever. And the death of her daughter, that's just hard to understand, but as Ronnie Fairmont, we wouldn't mention, it wasn't meant for us to understand God's moves, so. Camilla, 18-year-old kid, that's just so sad. And here Rita just lost her husband about 6 months ago, and here we're going through the same thing now. So keep those people in your prayers. I'd like for us to adjourn and remember it. We're going to close this out with that. Anybody have anything else? And I apologize to you guys for coming in and it's not been able to discuss it like we should have, okay? Danny, you understand what I'm talking about? Yes, sir, absolutely. Okay, so get back on the 10th, and I'm like John, I'm gonna miss you guys, especially my little dark-haired Darlene in the middle back there. She was a wonderful. I remember the first time I ever met her.
I miss you all too.
So anyhow, so much for that.
You and Ronnie was
And John said we're not gonna shed
blessing
any
to
tears,
me.
but we'll miss you guys. Ronnie and I enjoyed it. On the committee we've been on for the last year or so. So that's about all I have. Anybody have anything in particular they want to say? We got plenty of time. Just don't get on the thing about the letter. I won't discuss that now.
I have one last thing.
I'm sorry?
I have one more thing.
One more thing.
I have one last thing, and I forgot to mention this earlier. The swearing in ceremonies, December 27th, 5 p.m. It will be in the circuit courtroom. We didn't have confirmation on that until just a little while ago. So it will be in the circuit courtroom, December 28th at 10 a.m. It also is in the circuit courtroom, so both of them will be there.
Three of us could care less.
Yeah, I
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second, but one more comment, Judge
Yes,
Pro
sir.
Tem. I'd like to thank our city folks for being here, the mayor and Rick Series, and the input that I got from Jenny Holland this morning on this critical issue that we face with the weather coming up. So thank you all for everything, and Mayor, we will follow through.
Thank you all, each and every one of you, and Merry Christmas to all of you. You have a safe trip going down the mountains to see your parents, and we're gonna do that. And Danny, thank you, buddy, for what all you do and your time you spend with it. And we thank you too. I had a problem with the name this morning. Mary Louise. Thank you. And I'm sorry I didn't get the name in the back.
Ray Graves.
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry. Ray Graves.
Oh my God, Ray, I'm sorry. You got to disguise that goatee.
Works well.
I kept looking at you and that white hair and that goatee. I know him. When you smile, I do it. Thank you for being here, and thank you for doing the work that you guys are doing. That proves that if we want something done, everybody stands up and says, it's not going to be this way. We're going to change it. And thank y'all for doing that. And you, sir?
You know who I am.
You don't have to grow a beard for me.
Over the years, I've enjoyed working with you guys. You guys know that I show up here quite often. County and city work together. That's me.
That's what I'm in there. And thank you for your service and the passion, and congratulations on coming back home. John and I both will miss you, especially I miss your jokes. So much. Well, we knew everybody around here. Steve,
I know you miss me, I miss you.
I appreciate you saying that, whether you mean it or not.
I didn't mean it, trust me, I mean it.
Well, I'm gonna miss you, Steve. I haven't known you that long, but you've been one vote that I voted for that I'll always say I appreciate that, and I'm glad they voted that way. So hope you hang around. I mean, you got a good court coming on, and you're just hanging there with them. And there's gonna be a lot of things you guys have to be patient because you've been around for a while. So do that, and because keep in mind who you're working for. You know, these people put you in, they take you out.
30,245.
Yes, so, and Tom, you do a good job.
Thank you.
So, continue doing so. And Steve, keep your money control.
That's right.
And Mayor, good seeing you. John and I still more looking forward to that lunch that you promised us.
Well, that's part of the reason I'm here, to corral you two before the day's out.
Thank you all so much. Thank you for being here. Ray, buddy, I ain't seen you so long, you're getting old on me.
Gracefully.
Yeah. Well, do you have anything else? We'll put one other crooked finger at me. Duane, take care, buddy. All of you, have a Merry Christmas. And did you say you were adjourning and all these people?
I already have. I made the motion.
Second.
Second. We stand adjourned.